So we had a ton of rain here in Escondido in Southern California. Some estimates over 2 inches. So follow me as I take a look and check on our growth. One of the things that we do, since we have a lot of access roads, is we put these little ditches in to kind of reduce runoff and kind of push it back into the grove where all the trees are. So we have a couple of these throughout. Here's another example of a tree, next year's harvest, and another little swell. You can see it full of the leaves, kind of pushes the water back into the grove. Trying to do what we can to conserve what water we can, reduce erosion and runoff. Now, as some of you may remember, we unfortunately get some drops, and we can't sell avocados that fall on the ground. So that's good for my kids and my wife and I, but it does look like we got definitely some drop from the last rainstorm. One casualty that might turn into some guacamole at the house. Oop, there's another one. Oh, same tree. There's a couple more. Well, maybe some avocado toast is in our future. Actually, everything looks pretty good, but let's go check the lower 5 acres. Now, unfortunately, we have 2 5-acre parcels that are kind of like corner to corner, one of which is fairly level, but the other one is quite hilly, and there's an access road that gets from the upper 5 to the lower 5 acres. So let's take a look. Unfortunately, being on a hill, we have a lot of water that comes down here and then goes down there. So let's take a look and see what damage, if any, we have. Keeping our fingers crossed, obviously. So we definitely can see there's quite a bit of runoff here. Continues to go. This is all real good. Kind of keep the soil in place. Looking at seeing about what we can do to kind of shore up this bank here. You can see we got some decent erosion. And what we've tried to do is, wherever possible, put in some rock or brick. You can see it kind of kicks it over here. And more erosion. So we're probably going to have to get some excavators in, or bulldozers or bobcats, to see what we can do to keep this soil where we want it, not running off to where we don't. Yeah, it came down pretty good here. You can see there's a lot of runoff. But if we look up, all of that tree or leaf matter, call it duff, is helping keep all the soil up there where we want it, where the trees are. Down here you can see there's quite a bit of rain, quite a bit of runoff, and what we'll do is we'll just take rocks and stuff. Team put in some sandbags to try to minimize erosion. But last time I was up here, these gullies didn't exist. We also took some branches and stuff, trying to avoid runoff. But it looks like we got some hiking to get down to the lower 5 and check it out and see. We've cut back more trees here in preparation for some new plantings. Probably try some drip irrigation. We're going to automate the irrigation system even more. Possibly planting even some new varieties of avocados. But let's take a look and see how we did with this rain. Now you may be wondering, why are we leaving trees like these two, this one in the foreground and the one in the background, if we're going to replant here? Well, both of those are actually, I guess you could say, water breaks for the water as it flows down the hill. And because these haven't been planted in so long, we're getting quite a bit of erosion going down. And that's great in some respects because you're gonna have a bunch of soil down at the bottom, but not really good if you want to plant more trees, especially up top. So the sooner we can get new trees planted, the better. And the task for this year and the years to come. Now here you can see how water ran down. And then also, I'm now looking uphill, and all the water that fell on the trees came down. And you can see it came down right into here, and we have some more brush. And then it exited the property over there. Now we're walking over to the other side of our 5 acres on the lower part. And here we have a pretty big gully, and always have. We haven't really been able to plant any avocados over here. And so we're looking at ways that we can put it in and bring some new soil and see if we can plant. But we can't really do that until we address the erosion runoff problem. So let's take a look. So here we go on the other side, and we've got a nice big river. One of these years I'll be brave enough to come check this out while it's raining. But it's about 10 feet deep and goes through our property down to the very, very lowest part. And you can see how we've tried to mitigate erosion by placing some sandbags and leaves and debris anywhere we possibly can, as well as letting nature take its course with whatever wants to grow, letting it. All in all, it looks like we fared pretty well with the rain. Still a lot to do to bring this back to life and grow the operation.